Are Avengers 225 here? At last, the Dark Knight. We have a nice cover with him in the centre. The character had basically been written out of comics for close to 10 years, and now, at last, it is his return. Truth be told, we have a pretty excellent Avengers roster for this issue. We have him, we have Captain America, we have She-Hulk and Iron Man. And if this had just been a few months later, the Iron Man would have been Rhodey Rhodes, which would have been even better. And then on the right, we have Thor, Wasps, and Hawkeye. 7 members, pretty great lineup for a story. Here is Thor showing off his magic armor. As I said, it's a good Avengers team, but what I think will capture the interest of at least one of my viewers is that this story is the first time Dr. Doom shows up and allies with the Avengers. He arrives one day and disguises himself under a cloak of invisibility and sneaks into their headquarters. So Dr. Doom, he shows up and, without missing a beat, he mentally controls the Avengers and forces them to travel back in time against their will. Seriously, this character is a terrible, terrible man. This is how we reunite with Dark Knight, who has been trapped in the 12th century since the early 70s. And we are also transported to the magical realm of Avalon. We get some quick catch-up for readers and She-Hulks who didn't know about Dark Knight. And this isn't the most gripping story. It's a very bog-standard affair with the Avengers having a generic fantasy adventure. But I think the strength of it is that we have this great set of Avengers characters, and they are fighting in a mystical world against a big giant troll and shit like that. It's not trying to be a big storyline. It's just a story with the team transported to a different locale. I have seen some people really criticise this two-parter for being very boring and all this Celtic folklore stuff being uninviting, but I didn't really get that. I didn't see it as a problem. I think those readers maybe went in with higher hopes, but this is a serviceable story. It's not asking you to invest in or care about all this magical realm of Avalon stuff. All those things are just props for the Avengers to gun up against. And getting to see Dark Knight back is a bonus. Having him interact with the team, that stuff is great to see. And the story presents Dark Knight with a bit more of a presence to the team dynamic. There is that thing that I think looks like a butt plug. Dark Knight, though, is an interesting case where he was one of the first people to join the Avengers. back in the 60s in Avengers 71, he joined the team pretty early, but he never had a proper run with them. He was always a guest star in the book, never a full-time member. And it isn't until this story and after this that he really gets cemented as a real part of the team. And people often point to him or think of him as being a 90s Avengers character, but historically, he was always one of the first Avengers. The 10 years that he spent on ice in the past didn't help matters, but I always felt that he never got the right level of recognition for his long history with the team. So we have goblins and trolls and orcs and ghoulies like that. The Avengers fight them. I did find a lot of this issue I was asking, when are they going to get to the giant troll monster? And then I remembered that is actually the cliffhanger, and it is a perfectly executed cliffhanger ending. Right now, they are fighting magic wizards and what looks like a butter monster. I'll tell you what, if someone wants to have an Avengers story where the team fight a monster that is evil, sentient butter, that is the sort of comic I would be into. But our ending reveal is the giant El Gigante. That is what the giant monsters were called in Resident Evil 4. So we have El Gigante here, and the two strongest members of this Avengers lineup, Thor and She-Hulk, they rush in to fight it, but then it zaps them with its eye, which shoots fire, and the two of them seem to perish, leaving the Avengers distraught, and Hawkeye voices the obvious concern of what the hell can they possibly do against El Gigante if he just disposed of their two heavy hitters with ease. That is the cliffhanger, and I think that is the highlight of the issue, really. That sounds like I'm saying that is the good part and the rest sucks. Maybe nothing else in the issue measures up to the execution of that ending, but I wouldn't say the rest sucks. It's maybe milquetoast. It is welcome to have Darth Knight back and be with the team again. We get to see Avengers smack around some pixies. And Dr. Doom is introduced to Avengers readers appropriately as an arse. I'll be a bit generous with this maybe, and say that it is worth 7 thumbs up.